record, if that's all right. There we go. So thank you so much for tuning in this evening. It's a real treat for you to come along. I assume many of you will be back at work and back to the grindstone tomorrow after this lovely bank holiday weekend, and what amazing weather it's been tonight. So doubly appreciated. And hopefully we're going to provide you with some value this evening, learn a little more about this wonderful opportunity and these incredible products that we have coming into the country in just a few weeks' time, and leave you to make an informed decision from there. So once all this is said and done, once you've had your questions answered, or once you've learned a little more, then by all means feel free to go back to the person that invited you to this call this evening so that they might be able to help you further. And should you wish to help you place that pre-order, or indeed to get started with this wonderful wealth creation opportunity that we have too. So all that's very well and good, is it not? But I suppose it wouldn't do without me first introducing myself for those of you that don't know me. So, someone's raised their hand. That's very exciting. Can't see what their name is. Maybe wait till later for that one. So my name's Darius Ward. I got involved in the network marketing industry about 5 years ago. And for many years, had a number of different jobs. In fact, by the time I was 21, I'd already had 40 jobs. So very much a jack of all trades and the master of none. It was very inadvertently, actually, that I came across network marketing. There was a guy called Rob who I met in a hotel lobby one day with the promise of an extra £200 or £300 a month, which was just sort of filling a gap for me at the time, having no real appreciation or understanding of exactly what I had to offer. But later I went on to find out, becoming good friends with Rob as I did, that he was a 20-year veteran of the network marketing industry, and had earned many, many millions from his network marketing business. So it turned out to be an absolute blessing in disguise. He very much took me under his wing and offered me the tutelage, the guidance, the expertise, the coaching, and the kick up the arse, which I occasionally needed to help me get started on this wonderful journey. So off I went to build my first network marketing business, which I did, and qualifying for trips and various other things along the way, which was all very exciting. And then Rob decided to take it a little bit easier, because after all, when £30,000 or £40,000 hits your bank account every month, whether you get out of bed or not, sometimes you choose to stay in bed a bit longer, I'm sure you can appreciate. So that's what Rob decided to do, and pursue other ventures. And so that gave me an opportunity to progress and move elsewhere, to grow in a different environment. It was around that time that I actually came across my first pre-launch situation. So again, quite unknowing, quite unappreciative, I suppose, of the true extent of the opportunity that was being offered to me. But nonetheless, seized it with both hands. Started off with 297 brave souls in that first launch month. So quite a small team in the scheme of things in comparison to many others out there. But nonetheless, that grew to more than 28,000 people over 2 years. So certainly I can't take anything more than a very small slice of the credit for that. It was very much the 297, or in fact the original 17 that we spoke to in that first week, and have grown it from there, generating, as it does now, in excess of £20 million of turnover per year, and a very lovely six-figure income along with that. So why then, I hear you asking, how I sat here now, with that being the case? Well, money is, of course, a very wonderful thing. It buys you lots of things, not least of all freedom, choice, and the opportunity to pursue your true passions and dreams, whatever they might be. Having done that for a number of years now, when I was presented with this fresh and exciting opportunity, when I saw the real benefits and the value of it, having learnt the lessons perhaps that I hadn't done earlier in my career or earlier in my life, it was something that I just couldn't leave alone, something I couldn't let pass me by. And I'm so very pleased that I made that decision several months ago to get started, to join in, and to really sort of kick the tyres and see where this vehicle could take me. And what a journey it's been. So it all started back in August of last year, where I was invited to go across to Arizona, where the head office of Isagenix is. Gilbert, Arizona, and there was a 2-day event on there. I was very fortunate to meet the founder of the company, or one of the founders of the company, Kathy Coover, who's a very incredible, lovely human being, considering she's running a billion-dollar industry, or a billion-dollar company within a multi-billion-dollar industry. And to try the products and to see the labs, the head office is only about sort of 18 months old, something like that. a glass and steel sort of palace to the Isagenix product brand and associates too. And I have to admit that at that point when I went over, I was actually really quite sceptical, because whilst I've been quite open-minded in a number of different ways, pursuing different business opportunities and ventures and things like that over the years, health and nutrition, health and wellness was not really an area that I had much expertise in. In fact, my main experience in terms of health and wellness was eating chicken wings and drinking beer, which really is quite the opposite of what you might expect. But nonetheless, I had suffered, not through any major way, I have to admit, but nonetheless, my health had started to decline over the years, approaching nearly 40 as I am now. Things were starting to take its toll, excessive behaviours. I lived out in Spain for 6 months last year and really enjoyed the party lifestyle, and came back feeling really quite tired and run down. Moved back in around September last year, around the time that I flew out to Arizona for that first occasion. And maybe about 18 months ago, I decided that I had to do something about it, and I did a sort of fair amount of research, independent research, and asked around and asked some of my healthier friends and family and people, associates that I knew, and they all pointed me towards collectively juicing. And juicing, I have to say, was a real sort of epiphany moment for me, in as much as whilst it was extra time and effort, whilst it was involved, you know, the peeling and chopping and scraping, all the rest of it, the benefit that I received was really quite incredible. And it was around that time that I had the realization that food, whilst delicious and tasty in many forms, of course, is actually more about the nutrition that's contained within it. So it was about making educated choices each day, rather than setting off on some grand plan. And if I chose to eat chicken wings, which I'm partial to and partake in occasionally now, even now, or whether I chose to have a juice or perhaps a healthy, nutritionally balanced meal, all of which really helped. And not only did I decrease in weight, I gained in vitality and energy and stamina, all that kind of thing. But the problem came is that I do travel quite a lot for business, and when I was back and forth between Spain and the UK, or the US, Jamaica, a few other places as well, over a 12, 18-month period, then you can imagine that when I packed my chopping board, my chef's knife, my blender, a bag of kale, a cucumber, cherry tomato, frozen cherries, so on and so on, into my suitcase, I got some quite funny looks at the security control. And needless to say, I only made that mistake once. So what I realised was that whilst all that was really incredible, it actually was not a practical solution for me. And not only that, of course, if you're out there, if you're working the 9 to 5, or you're a busy parent, you're looking after young children, all of those things become quite tiresome over a period of time. And so that's when I started to seek a more practical solution in step. Isagenix, the universe works in strange and wonderful ways, doesn't it? So off I went down to over to Phoenix, Arizona, and the first taste of the product to have was really quite, again, one of those epiphany type moments, whereby it was an isolene bar, which will be available shortly, October, November time this year here in the UK. And it's a meal replacement bar. And I thought, well, in the same way that like a Rice Krispies cake or whatever they're called, other brands are available, is meant to be a filling and, nutritious-ish replacement for your breakfast cereal. But actually, whilst it's tasty to eat, man full of sugar and syrup and all the rest of them delicious things that taste so great, actually leaves you empty after half an hour or an hour, and you're seeking that next thing, especially once that sugar hits or the peak starts to slump. So I tried the isolene bar very skeptically and was quite surprised not only how tasty it was, but also that it was fortified with vitamins and minerals, and also contained 11 grams of undenatured whey protein, which I then went on to learn is such a vital part in the health and well-being of a person, because by feeding the body the whey protein and the things that the body then converts that into the linked amino chain acids, then it stimulates the sustainability or the growth, depending on what you're doing exercise and activity-wise, of the lean muscle tissue, which allows the body then to release the visceral fat that can surround the organs, as well as around the midriff and other problem areas. So that was really interesting. So I then went on to take a tour of the lab, and was absolutely astounded to learn that there's more than 50 full-time staff, scientists, white guys and girls in white coats, in the laboratories, which are built right there into the head office of Isagenix, developing, further improving, enhancing, and creating new products on a weekly basis. So a real commitment to the product range, to the no compromise quality in sourcing, and realised then, or was informed then, that not only do they test at source, so say if they're going to include an apple, let's say, in one of their products, then they go to where that apple is grown, they test the soil in which it's grown, the water, the quality of the water in which it's fed, and not only that, ensure that it's only harvested at the peak ripeness once the nutrition has been absorbed from the soil and therefore can be fed and nourished within our bodies. And then once it comes in, tested again to ensure the ripeness, the availability of the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients contained naturally within these different items, and then tested during the actual manufacturing process, and then tested before it goes out. So I was really alarmed to find out. I was actually chatting in the bar one evening whilst on the trip over to Arizona, and was talking to a gentleman by the name of Paul, who has a PhD in nutrition. He's a professional sports coach, and he was telling me that many companies over in the States have actually been sued or taken to court or had some form of action taken against them, because whilst they claim that it has certain vitamins, minerals, nutrients, etc., within it, when actually tested at an independent source, the finished products often contained half or even less of what was actually advertised within it. And that's certainly not the case here with Isagenix, which was a delight to find out, and not something I was even seeking, I have to say, because not only is it tested at the source, but during the process, and then finally, before it leaves, to make sure that what it says is on the packet is indeed what's inside the packet or the bottle or the tube or the whatever different product it is. So it was around then that I started to get a greater appreciation for the product range and exactly what it is. So what I fast learned, because of course there are many competitors out there, many other opportunities, many other companies that sell health and wellness products. And what was interesting to find out is that the original founder of the company is a guy called John Anderson, whose nickname or name within the industry is Mr. Mineral. And he's actually the third richest gentleman within the state of Arizona. So certainly has not been profit orientated or profit motivated. And he actually developed the products himself for use by himself, being advancing in the years, in his 60s he was at the time, not feeling the best of energy, not feeling stability, feeling sluggish and slow, and all these things that will, eventually catch up with us all, I guess. He decided to develop, having already developed more than 2,300 products and owning the patents on those and selling them through license to other health and wellness companies around the world. But then seeing them changed and altered for the benefit, not of the consumer, but of the bottom line, for the profit of the company. So added cheaper ingredients or artificial versions of, or stimulants and things like that to create the illusion of the same effects, but actually no real benefit to the health of the end user. So he developed this product range then, very much with the idea of creating benefit for himself, which indeed he did, and he felt great. He then decided to share them with a few friends and family, so no commercial end in mind, just purely he had the knowledge, the power, the ability to combine these naturally occurring substances into a powder or liquid form and share them with some of his friends and family, and they felt great and felt the benefit too. And then so they started to ask him, well, would it be possible to get some for my auntie and uncle or my mother or father or my children or my son or daughter or whomever it might have been, my friend at work? And so on and on it went from there, and he actually built it to a 100 million plus company even back then. But around that time, is when he then approached Jim and Kathy Coover, who are now the co-owners along with the son, Eric. And Jim Coover is a more than 40-year veteran of the network marketing and direct sales industry, and that's within a corporate capacity, working as a CEO and building multiple billion-dollar companies throughout his career. So very knowledgeable and talented in that regard. And then his wife, Kathy, actually started as a dental technician some 30-some years ago, and went on to build 3 separate #1 spots within different direct selling and network marketing companies. So whilst coming from very different perspectives, Jim and Kathy, nonetheless, the two combined forming an excellent and amazing team, in as much as have those dual roles coming from the corporate or office-based perspective, and then from the field or network-based perspective as well. So they've really been through it. They've really learnt about inferior products and how they can be so damaging to a reputation. They've learnt about ethics and standards and how these things can let people down. And they've learnt about pay plans and holes and pitfalls and things like that. And so really, any information they don't have in their combined, I'm guessing, 60 or 70 plus years experience between them, really it's because it's not worth knowing. So when they decided to become involved at the request of John, then they did so, and a few years later went on to actually buy the company whole. And then has since developed it until last year, it turned over $924 million across 12 countries. And with the introduction of the UK and then mainland Europe later in the year, they're anticipating or projecting a $1 billion increase per year within the first 18 months. So really, really pinning hopes and expectations here on the UK. And I have to say that so far, in terms of the numbers, in terms of the feeling of the different leaders within the opportunity, they're not going to be disappointed at all. Creating already more than 220 millionaires, income millionaires, through the Isagenix opportunity. They are going to look to create a dozen more within the next 12 to 18 months. So the fastest pace at which someone has joined from a standing start with no network marketing, no prior network marketing experience, to a 7-figure income is 9 months. Now, don't let me mislead you at all. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a case of, join, pay sort of 20 or 30 pounds and expect $1 million to plop in your account within 12 months' time. Wouldn't that be lovely? I'd certainly be first in the queue should that be the case. This is a serious, incredible business opportunity, but nonetheless, with hard work, dedication, and a sprinkling of additional work, then certainly can provide you with a sustainable secondary income. Now, whether you want a few £100 a month, which is how I got started in network marketing, or whether you want a few £100,000 a month, both of those are readily achievable with enough attention to detail, being coachable, learning from people that have done it before, and from working your business hard and smart. So very exciting times, to say the least. So when I look back at other similar companies in the health and nutrition industry that launched here 20 or 30 years ago, and their top leaders have now been earning £80,000 or more per month for the last 10 or 15 or even 20 years, I really, really consider that's the place that we're in now. Now, it's not that the pre-launch situation is the be-all and end-all. People get started in network marketing companies 10 or 15, 20 years after they've commenced. And my phone's ringing, sorry. And they get started even then and still go on to make, very serious riches. However, there is a distinct and definite advantage to the pre-launch situation because the initial wave of excitement will only come once. This company in this country with this product range will only launch once, ever in the history of time. But not only that, if you imagine the first time you met your partner, you went out on that first date, there was maybe a little hold handing and some wistful looks out the corner of your eye, coyly playing with your hair or nervously messing with rings and things like that. That's what I used to do. But nonetheless, that excitement wanes. But of course, it's replaced with a loving and caring relationship, a strong bond. So it's not that it diminishes by any means, but it's never going to be as exciting as when you first met. And that's exactly the position that we're in now, in as much as the great British public, all 70 odd million of them, have not yet heard of the Isagenix brand. They have not seen the stories of the amazing transformations that can take place. And of course, that's the most exciting the first time that it comes around. And then, of course, we'll develop new strategies and there's going to be new products and new transformations and new markets or niches within the market that are all going to come. So again, not a one-trick deal, but a definite and distinct advantage to those first movers, those pioneers or founding members, as they're often called within the network. So All of that's wonderful. So back to the product range then. I think I got slightly carried away there, didn't I? So with the product range, it's very much a case of complete nutrition. So many other companies are out there, they're available, they all offer wonderful products. I wouldn't wish to say a harmful or negative thing about any of them, but what I can assure you of is that the Isagenix product range is the only nutritionally complete solution to help you achieve your health or weight management goals. Now, what I really love is that the core set of products, which is the Isagenix Shake, which is a undenatured whey protein shake, non-GMO, grass-fed cows, premium whey protein. And then also latterly in October, November time, we're going to be getting the dairy-free, which is actually made from pea and hemp protein, because we now, studies and scientists, etc., are all realizing the harm of soy protein. Excuse me, let's have a little drink. But in combination with the perfect balance of nutrition elements that complete the nutrition cycle or table, whichever way you choose to look at it, to enhance your health and your wellness. So these products, along with the herbal botanicals, which I'll perhaps talk a little bit more about just in a minute or two, by combining those in a synergistic way, to use a posh word, then you can achieve a number of different health goals. So for me, for example, it's about weight loss. I want to reduce my weight to a healthier amount that I can feel freer and wear pretty clothes and, you know, that kind of thing. All the aesthetic things as well as the health things too. For some people, however, they have an issue with gaining weight and perhaps are underweight. Well, again, we can use the products to that effect too. It may be that you're a peak performance athlete. It may be that you enjoy Sunday football, or you enjoy going down to the gym, Zumba, or even pole dancing classes seem to be quite popular these days, don't they? So whatever it is that flicks your switch, then we can enhance your performance, increase the results from your physical effort. Not that that's required, but should you choose to do it in addition, and help you achieve your health goal. And then latterly, what we've also got is for those that are reaching an advanced number of years, then bone and muscle density can become an issue. And my dear old grandma, before she passed away, when she used to fall over on the kitchen floor, would break a hip or a pelvis or something, you know, incredibly painful and awful, all due to the weakening or the decrease of the density of the bone and muscle mass. Well, again, we can help with that. So, all with the application of the undenatured whey protein shakes and the herbal botanicals to create the synergistic effect. So a really incredible, simple set of products, just 11 products available in the UK to start with, more coming soon though, of course, to achieve your health goal, whatever it might be. All for an incredible price. So that was the next thing I came to. Well, all this sounds very wonderful and nutritionally complete, but if you imagine that the value pack from the supermarket in comparison to the premium organic, you're looking at a price difference, aren't you? So I thought with this superfood nutrition, this space food, as I saw it at the time, and surely that's going to reach at a premium price. And certainly with another network marketing companies, I've experienced extortionate prices for what can be actually quite simple products. And so I was very cautious about that. And so set off to readily look at the price list and look through the website that night in my hotel room, and was absolutely delighted to see that each meal cost only £2.57. I mean, cheaper than actually buying the equivalent products and preparing them at home yourself, but in a convenient packet form. I couldn't believe it. So a 30-day system is 2 meals per day, 2 snacks, some extras to share with friends and family should you wish, or keep them to yourself, that's fine, make it last that little bit longer. As well as the herbal botanicals and supplements to help to accelerate your rate of metabolism, and also to keep you regular and help you sleep peacefully, and all for less than £10 a day. So then what I realised was, and this was not something I'd ever come across before, not what I was looking for, I didn't know it existed, but nonetheless, a very welcome fact nonetheless, was that it's not about whether someone would wish to buy these products. It's not about an additional expenditure. It's not about a new dress. It's not about a new pair of jeans. It's not about whether you want the next level up on your car. It's not an additional purchase, because you're going to buy food anyway. And that's what we're talking about. Nutritional rich, superfood in a packet. So the choice is not whether you're going to spend it, it's how do you wish to spend it. Do you wish, I mean, my two choices in my mind was, well, for £2.57, I could get a value shepherd's pie and put that in the microwave and give myself heartburn and feel gross. Or I could buy a packet of this shake and a snack for the same price and feel not full, but, you know, not feel empty. What's the proper word? It's satiated, I think is the correct word anyway, but, you know, feeling great for that 5-6 hour period to see me through that half day. And then obviously the same again before having a lovely, nutritionally balanced, healthy evening meal. And then not only that, for me personally, like I say, weight loss, dropping on average about £1 a day. And that's across a number of different people. In fact, they have 400 documented cases around the world across 12 open markets of people who have dropped more than £100. And what's really surprised me by having a trial of the products for a few weeks is just how simple and easy it was to follow. Because one of the things that's turned me off about shake diets and health plans and things like that is twofold, actually. One is that I would feel hungry all the time. And one, for me, once it's about deprivation, I lose all interest. It makes me want chocolate and crisps and chips and, you know, all those things all the more. And second of all, is that, well, it's all well and good to achieve a health goal, but then you've got to sustain it. And there are a number of different university and hospital medical studies that have been carried out independently, not financed by Isagenix, not endorsed, not manipulated in any way, independent studies that have taken place now. You can go on to www.isagenixhealth.net should you wish to learn more. I'm not going to go into any great detail other than to say, in comparison to the Healthy Heart Diet, which globally is used as the benchmark for healthy living and nutritional completeness, and then a selection of people taking part in the Healthy Heart Diet, a selection of people taking place on the 30-day program that we have available on the 15th of May, as you know, and 67% more visceral fat loss using the Isagenix program than even the Healthy Heart Diet. Not only that, a further study was done, which then followed those same people who went into a maintenance mode with a view to maintaining the weight loss or gain or whatever it was, the health levels, the energy levels that they'd achieved already. And after 12 months, more people, I can't remember the figures, it's very awful, but again, isagenixhealth.net, but more people had sustained their weight loss through the Isagenix program than even the Healthy Heart Diet, because it's so easy to slip in to those old habits. And, you know, one extra pork pie doesn't hurt just before bed, right? I certainly know I've suffered from that more than once. So, really, really, truly incredible. And that led to me coining the phrase that it's not about a diet, it's not about weight loss, it's certainly not about a crash diet or anything like that. What we're doing is creating lasting and sustainable change in the health of the world, which fits in nicely with the company's motto of ridding the world, or ridding people of financial as well as physical pain, whilst also creating the largest health and nutrition company that the world has ever seen. And they're certainly well on track to doing just that. In fact, it's one of only 5 companies in the world in the history of time within the direct sales industry to ever have achieved more than $500 million worth of sales in 1 year. And like I've already said, they've nearly doubled that too. So a very rare company indeed, a legacy company. So one of the promises and one of the illusions perhaps that I've been fed myself through the industry is that of residual income and of getting started and building a business which will continue to pay you long into the future. And don't get me wrong, whilst there are several companies that the pay plans will allow that, they are very rare. But however, let me assure you that the Isagenix plan is most certainly one of those, with no penal elements in the system. Once you've built your business to whatever level you desire, whether that's £400 or £500 a month or £400,000 or £500,000 a month, all of which is achievable given sufficient time and effort, then you will continue to reap the reward of that business for many years to come. So I have only seen one example before where people have been picking up checks, not for the business that they built, not even for the business that their parents built, but actually for the business that their grandparents built in the 1970s. And it's an absolutely incredible feeling to an experience to see that someone worked so hard and diligently more than 40 years ago, or 30 at the time it was, and then for not only their children, but their children's children to be benefited. And again, that is exactly the situation that we find ourselves in now. So I suppose the question is then, that's all wonderful. The product is very cost effective. In fact, it's net neutral in as much as there's no extra cost. The pay plan's wonderful. It's very rich. It pays very well, and is also a sustainable solution, just like the products. The company founders are incredibly experienced and talented, a wholly owned company, total control. They have the motto that if it's not right for the associate or customer, it's not right for the company. And not only that, the leadership that's in place, working with really, truly incredible people to provide you with the support, the guidance, the education, the knowledge, the training, the support, online, offline, real events, one-to-ones, coffee mornings, Super Saturday training events, the corporate tours that are taking place all the time, all the support you could ever ask for. It all stacks up and leaves just one question. Well, how do I get started? Well, should you not have done already, then please do refer back to the person that invited you here along tonight, or send them a message, or arrange to meet them for a coffee or a drink down the local bar, whatever it might be. Something nice and healthy, I suppose I should say. And there are several joining options. So just like a discount buyers club, you can come in to the opportunity, take part in the network, but you may only wish to be a customer, and that's absolutely fine. You'll be just as valued and priced as anyone else. And for paying your £19 per year joining fee, like a gym or, like I say, a discount buyers club, that will entitle you to up to 20 or more % discount of all your orders for the whole of the year. So you'll actually make that money back in savings in your first order, most likely. And should you then wish to refer other people in, which there's no obligation to do at all, but should you wish and should you want your partner or your children or your friend or whomever to help them achieve their goal too, then you'll receive a reward for doing that. And then should you wish to be an associate, again, there are several different options available. £19 fee to get your bulk buyer's discount, not that there's any minimum amount. And then there's a number of different packs, depending on what your health goal is. So we have the premium pack, which is available for £499. That contains a full 30-day system of all the products, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, the herbal botanicals. It contains the accelerator and the Isa Move to keep you regular and flowing. It contains the Ionic Supreme and also some Hydrate, which is a really great sort of alternative to a sports drink, as well as some e-shots, again a natural herbal alternative to energy drinks or to sports drinks. So really a great broad range of the products that are available. In addition, you also receive a branded shaker as well as a branded blender, which is really great for exhibitions, for stalls, for a number of different sort of professional things, if you will, and a business handbook. So really great value. And then the next one down we've got is a 30-day system. That could either be a 30-day health or weight management pack, or could be a 30-day energy and performance pack. That's available for £267 and provides you again with the 2 shakes a day, the 2 snacks. I'm just going to have to put the light on before I disappear into darkness altogether. Just 1 second. Ah, there. That's better, isn't it? You can usually see me now. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so 267 for the 30-day system, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, the herbal botanicals, that's Ionic Supreme and Nourish for Life. Cleanse solution, a cellular cleanse like nothing I've ever seen before. Leaves you feeling regenerated, leaves you feeling full of energy, absorbing more nutrition into your body. It's pretty much like an oil change for a car, flushing everything through and getting you ready for the week ahead. Really great stuff. And then we have the weight management pack, which the price is, I'm just blanking on, I'm afraid, but more information available should you wish for it. And then finally we have the basic shake and cleanse pack at 157. And that is 1 shake per day and 1 cleanse per week for the full 30 days. It's a really great starter pack for those that perhaps are a bit budget conscious, a great introduction to the product range, and still attracts that 20% plus discount. Not only that, of course, you can continue to order it all year round. And then we have the convenience of a recurring order program. So just like when you go on to, say, a supermarket website and you place your orders and they come around and deliver them to you, for all these people that are rushing around and haven't got time and perhaps don't want the hassle of going into the hustle bustle of a busy supermarket on a Saturday afternoon. And then if you imagine then it's stored that order, and then you can just simply press the button once you've run out and you're ready to order again. However, there's no contracts, no minimums, no tie-ins, no ifs, buts, maybes, no shady dealings in the background. It's simply there for your convenience, and you can increase it to buy a little more should you be going away on holiday, or should you be trying to accelerate your health goal, whatever that might be. Or you can decrease it, in fact. So maybe you're going away and you have plenty and you're going to take that and you're not going to be there to take delivery. You can alter the date to any day of the month that you want, and you can keep it just the same. Or indeed, you could cancel it altogether. So a perfect thing that actually attracts an additional 5% discount, should you wish to take advantage of that. So I think that about covers everything. I'm sure that I've probably missed something. Don't know what. But I'm going to unmute you all now. So stop the dog barking and all the other noise that might be occurring that I've been experiencing recently. I'm just going to click on this button here. I'm going to unmute all. And if anyone has any questions, by all means, feel free to ask, or put something in the chat box now, and I'll be sure to get your question answered before we leave tonight. So off we go.
I have no idea how to find the chat box.
Okay, so I've unmuted you all now. So has anyone got a question for me?
If we're doing stalls, is there any way we can buy banners or anything along them lines?
Yeah, so they will be setting up in the States and Canada. They already have.
That is well.
Right, I've muted everyone now because there seems to be a bit of feedback coming through, but I've given you all the ability to unmute yourself should you wish to ask a question. I'm sorry, I didn't see your name there, but you said about banners for events and things like that. So in the US and Canada, they already have that set up and established. I'm sure it'll be very shortly behind, but rather than wait and delay any further, we've already developed a series of flyers and promotional information that's available for you to purchase at cost price. That's in the health and wealth group. The link for that, get added into there by your upline if you haven't already. In addition to that, we're going to be developing banners, we're going to be developing booklets, training manuals, etc., etc., etc. A full range available at the very lowest price we can possibly get it at. As the organisation grows, we'll be able to buy in bulk and get them even cheaper, pass them through at cost again, and off we'll go. I hope that answers your question. Did anyone else have a question? There's nothing in the chat group.
Yeah, Darius, the prices of the 499 and the 267, and you're saying about the 25% discount, does that come off those prices, and is that done automatically when we order?
Right, okay, so the 499 and the 267, that includes the 20% discount. So that, that is the price that you will pay. If you look at the website once it goes live, or look at the American website and do a ready reckoner or a conversion on that, then you'll see that the full retail prices are actually higher than that 499 and 269 figure.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just nobody's made it clear.
Yeah, no problem at all. So anyone else got any other questions? Any comments? Any issues? Anything? No? Okay. Okay, well, I hope that's really been...
Sorry, Darius, sorry. For some people, just say like somebody prefers the shakes and they don't like the snacks, are they able to buy all those separate and kind of work their own plan for what works for them?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the systems or the packs are there. They're designed to create that synergistic effect, like I say, combining all the different nutritional elements to the best effect. But it could be that someone borrows or you use extra of another one. You might decide to have 2 lots of ionics in a day, which would leave you short then, because it's designed to have 1 per day for the month. And then certainly you can order, well, under any circumstances, you can order any product you want on an individual basis, and so much so actually that should you order 6 of the same item or more, you actually attract a further 10% discount. So you get that advantage for being an avid user of one particular product.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so at that point then, we've grown to quite a number now. That's very exciting. So it's been a real pleasure speaking with you this evening. I hope you've realised just how passionate I am, how skilled, how enabled, how emboldened we are to see you off to the greatest of success, to help you achieve your health goals, whatever they may be, and to create that additional wellness for you should you wish. So someone's raised their hand. Sadly, the name is iPad, so I'm assuming your name isn't really iPad. But
It's Candy Darius.
hello, iPad.
Hello.
How you doing, Candy? You all right?
With people being able to buy individual items, do we gain like commission and stuff on individual items, or is it just the system packs we get commission on?
Okay, so there's a product introduction bonus, whether you're a customer or an associate. Every time you introduce someone on a system or a pack, there is an introduction bonus. Should they choose to come in with just like, say, literally just a box of shakes or just the ionics or just the cleanse, then you won't receive a product introduction bonus on that because it's not a packaged item, but you will still get the contribution of volume to your overall sales.
Right, okay.
That makes sense?
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem at all. Okay, so any questions? Gone?
I have a question, please.
Of course, yeah.
So, sorry, my data went on my phone halfway through the call, so I missed a good 5-minute chunk of it. I think the most questions that I wanted answered were in that part. Is this video going to be going into the group?
It is, yeah. Who's speaking? Sorry, I can't see.
Jenny. It's Jenny McCusker.
Oh, right. You got your video off.
So, hold on.
That's why I couldn't see you. Doesn't matter. Oh, there she is.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have recorded it for that purpose, so I'll be uploading it shortly. Once I get my internet to work properly, I'll be uploading it just as soon as I can for the benefit of anyone who cares to watch it later.
Fab. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so I think I've kept you long enough now. I'm going to leave you all in peace. Like I say, really looking forward to helping you on your health journey as well as your wealth journey, should you wish. Should you like to drop me a message, friend me on Facebook, then by all means feel free to do so. If you're a bit shy or wanted to ask me a more sensitive or personal question, then you are certainly very welcome to do that. If I don't have the answer, then I can certainly find one for you in the strictest of confidence. And other than that, I bid you all a fond farewell. Bye for now.
Thanks, Darius.
Bye.